Hello everyone, welcome to the video tutorial for the new Martin Wallace game called Rocketmen, which is a deck building game in which you're going to build rockets and try to launch successful missions to Earth orbit or Luna or even to Mars. The game is published by PHALANX Studio, which has sponsored the video. My name is Branislav Berec, I'm your host and I will teach you how to play the game. To set the game up, place the game board in the middle of the table. Then take these engine cards, teal asset cards, pink asset cards and threat cards and take out all the cards which are not for your current player count. To identify those cards, look at the number in the bottom left corner of the cards. All the cards with number 2 are for a 2-player game. If you play a 3-player game, add the cards with number 3, and in a 4-player game, also add all the cards with number 4. Cards with the number 1 are used in all player counts. On the other hand, cards with the number 1 crossed out are not used in a solo game. Then take all the threat cards with the number 1 in the bottom left-hand corner and shuffle them into the teal deck, and all the remaining threat cards for your current player count into the pink deck. Shuffle each deck separately and put the deck of pink cards at the bottom of the draw deck and the deck of teal cards on top of that. This is the final deck of the asset cards. Now take the deck and place it face down on this space on the game board. Then draw the first 6 cards face up. Then sort these engine cards by their type, which is the number in the top left hand corner, and place them on these 3 spaces. Shuffle this deck of mission success cards and place them face down on this space. Place this moon destination token on this space on the game board and the Mars token on this Mars destination space. Finally, place the rocket on the 0 space of this mission track. Then each player chooses a color and takes the player board of that color. 12 starting mission cards of the same color. Place them on this headquarters space of your player board and then draw 6 cards into your hand. This is your starting hand and you keep the cards hidden from other players. Take all the tokens of your color and take this victory point token and place it on the 0 space of the scoring track. And finally, take 2 random personal goal cards, which again you keep hidden from other players. Randomly choose the starting player who will get this first player token, and we're ready to go. In Rocketmen, players take turns, starting with the first player and then continuing in a clockwise direction until the game ends. On your turn, you may perform any number of actions and in any order, and you can choose from the following. First, you can place a mission card on this mission space. You can place a card from your hand to this area, which is called the launch pad. You may buy a card from the display, either these asset cards or the engine cards, and you may place a card from your hand to this play area over here, which is also called discarding a card. If you are eligible, you can also launch a mission. At the end of your turn, take all the cards from the play area and place them to this warehouse area and refill your hand up to the hand limit with the cards from the draw deck. The game can end in 3 different ways. First, if any player reaches or exceeds the number of victory points needed to win the game marked on the game board, which is different for each player count. Second, if any player places their last mission token on the game board, and there is at least 1 mission token in each of these 3 destinations. Destinations are Mars, Luna, and Earth. There must be at least 1 token of any player in the destination. It doesn't necessarily have to be the mission token of the player who just triggered the end of the game. And third, the game ends when all players place all their mission tokens on the game board. When the game end is triggered, finish the current round and then the game ends. Over the course of the game, players score victory points for completing the missions. You also score victory points from these threat cards that don't provide any other benefit other than the victory points. If you have the Mars or Luna token, which is awarded to the first player who reaches the destination, you score 1 victory point for each token, and you also score victory points from your personal goals. The player with the most victory points at the end of the game is the winner. I'm going to explain all the actions now in more detail. First, we'll start with buying the card from the display. To buy the card, you have to pay the cost indicated at the bottom of the card. You pay the cost by discarding the cards from your hand and using the symbol in the top left hand corner of the card. In this example, I can discard the card for $10. To gain additional $10, I can discard another card. Now, I have $20 available. I can take the card from the display and immediately replace it with a new card from the draw deck, and the card which I just bought goes into my play area. To buy these kind of cards, in addition to the financial cost, the card also has this technological cost. You pay the technological cost in the same way as the financial cost. So take the card from your hand and play it in your play area for the technological symbol. Financial and the technological cost can also be paid by the tokens on your player board if you have gained some of those tokens previously. And to use the token, simply flip it to the other side, which indicates that you have used those tokens and they can only be used again in the next round. This science token with all 3 technological symbols is a wild token, and you can use it as a symbol of any type. You can buy as many cards from the display as you can afford. However, there is a limit. You can only buy 1 of these engine cards. It can be an engine card of any type, but only 1 card per turn. If the technological cost has the symbol with all 3 science symbols, it means you can use any symbol from your hand. And finally, when buying these threat cards, notice this exclamation mark symbol in the costs area. That symbol indicates that the cost of the card may increase based on your current number of victory points. When you reach 7 victory points, the exclamation symbol indicates that you have to pay $10 more. When you reach 11 victory points, you have to pay $10 more and 1 additional science symbol, any symbol of your choice. And when you reach 14 victory points, you have to pay $20 more and 1 additional symbol. One of your main objectives of the game is to launch successful missions, and for that you will need to build a rocket here in the launchpad area. But first you have to place a mission card on this mission space. So before you play any cards into your launchpad area, take a chosen card from your hand and place it in this mission plan area. This card indicates where you can send the mission. In this case it can be Earth, Moon and also Mars. It also shows the location on the destination where you can launch a mission. So it's this area if you would go to Earth orbit, this area if you go to Luna, and this area if you go to Mars. You don't have to choose the destination now, you can choose it once you launch a mission. Then this number shows you how many rocket symbols you need in your launchpad area, which means how many rocket engines you need to have to launch the mission. And the second number indicates how many mission cards you will draw after you launch the mission. I'll talk about launching a mission in a minute. Finally, the symbol in the bottom right corner shows the reward for a successful mission. Then, to place the card to the mission plan, you need to pay $10. If you place the mission card, which has any financial symbols in the top left hand corner, the card can actually pay for itself. If you place a mission card on a mission plan, which doesn't have the financial symbol here, you have to use another card to pay the cost. Or again, if you would have a token, you can use the token as well. Now that you have a mission card on the mission plan, you can start placing cards in your launchpad area. Again, each card costs $10. In our example, I have flipped the $20 token, which means I can pay $10 for the cost of the mission plan card, and then I can use additional $10 to place another card in the launchpad area. However, you may never split this cost between placing a card in a mission card or launchpad, and buying the card from the display. Since you are building the rocket, you will need cards with this rocket symbol to launch a mission. As I already mentioned, this number next to the destination symbol shows you how many of those rocket symbols you need. Then you will also need cards with this symbol, with the technological symbol, which is the same as your chosen or intended destination. The Earth orbit destination, for example, has this computer symbol as the associated technological symbol, which means having the cards with the same symbol in the launch pad will help you with launching the mission. You can also place cards with the launchpad keyword on the card. They will help you with the mission after launching the mission using their ability. It's not triggered now when you place the card in the launchpad, it will be triggered after you launch the mission. Basically, there are only two restrictions when placing the cards from your hand into your launchpad area. First, you may never use the threat card in the launchpad area, and you may never use the card which only has this monetary symbol in the top left corner. There is no limit to the number of cards in the launchpad, but you may never have two cards with the same name in the launchpad area. Even if those cards would have these symbols different, as long as they have the same name, you may not have them both in the launchpad area. Some cards have the discard keyword, and when you decide to play these cards in your play area, this is called discarding a card, and you can use the ability on the card. You trigger that ability. You can even discard the cards from your launchpad to gain that ability, and again the card goes in your playing area. If you really want to, you may also discard the mission card, but in that case you have to discard not just the mission card but also all the cards from your launchpad. It all goes into your play area. Threat cards have absolutely no effect in the game apart from giving you victory points at the end of the game, so they can be discarded into your play area, but without any effect. At the end of your turn, you can launch a mission. You can only do that if, for your chosen destination, you have enough rocket symbols in your launchpad area on the cards, or if you have some rocket symbols available in this area on your player board. You can add these numbers together if needed. To launch a mission, first choose that destination. In our example, let's say we choose the Earth orbit, and to mark that destination, take one of your mission tokens and place it on the chosen destination. Now, you can only launch one mission to each location. So make sure that the combination of your destination and the location of that destination, which is Earth and this area, doesn't have any of your tokens yet. In that case, you would not be able to launch a mission there. Then, if you already haven't done so, shuffle the mission success deck, and then it's time to launch your rocket. First, look at your launch pad and count the number of symbols on the cards which match the symbol of your destination. If you want, you can also flip your tokens on your player board and count those symbols as well. For each matching symbol, move the rocket one space forward on the mission track. Here we have 1, 2, 3 symbols plus the one from the token, that was 4 spaces. Then, if you have any launchpad abilities on your cards, you can use these abilities now. Then start drawing the mission success cards, and the number you have to draw is indicated on the mission card. It's also shown on the game board next to the destination, so here we have 3 mission cards. Draw the cards one by one, and after drawing the card, move your rocket as many spaces forward as shown on the drawn mission card. Just for the clarification, if you would have any cards in your hand now with the launchpad abilities, you may not play those cards now. The rocket has been launched and there is nothing you can add to the launchpad. The mission will be successful when you reach your destination with the indicated number of mission success cards drawn. The mission can end in 3 different ways. First, if after drawing all the mission success cards determined by your destination, you failed to reach that destination, the mission ends with the failure. As a consequence, you have to discard all the cards from your launchpad area and place them in your play area. You may also discard the mission card if you want, but if not, you can keep it in its place. Remove the mission token from the destination and your turn is over. The second option is to abort the mission. You can do that when you feel like you're not going to make it to your destination, and you have to do it before you draw the last mission success cards for your destination, which is again determined by the destination. In this example, before I draw the third card, I have to make a decision. If I draw the third card and I won't make it to the destination, it's a mission failure. So I have the option to abort the mission now. Count the number of mission success cards you have drawn, in this example 2 cards, and from your launchpad area, discard that many cards minus 1. So in this example, just 1 card. The card is discarded to your playing area. Again, take your mission token back and end your turn immediately. And finally, the third option, when you manage to reach that destination, it's a mission success. First, look at the mission card and take the reward indicated in the bottom right corner. And in this example, it's a rocket symbol, which means I can flip this 1 rocket bonus symbol to the other side, which has 2 rocket symbols. Then remove the mission card from the game. You will not use it any longer in this game. Move your mission token to the location on that destination, and remember on your mission card it was this location. And if you are the first one, place your mission token on this area and gain the victory points indicated here. The first player reaching each location always scores 1 more victory point than any other player reaching the same area later in the game. As a reminder, the bonus for the location is also shown on the game board. Again, discard all the cards from your launchpad area to your playing area and your turn is over. You may now return the rocket back to the starting space of the mission track and shuffle all the mission success cards. The first player who successfully launches a mission to the Luna destination take this Luna token, which is worth 1 victory point at the end of the game. And the same applies for this Mars token. The first player to reach any Mars location gains the Mars destination token. At the end of your turn, move all the cards from your playing area to the warehouse and refill your hand up to your hand limit, which is 6 cards at the start of the game, and it may be increased. If your draw deck runs out, reshuffle all the cards you have in your warehouse and create a new draw deck. On the other hand, if at the end of your turn you have more cards in your hand than the hand limit, you have to discard the cards until you get down to that limit. Then unflip all the tokens you have used during your turn, and the game continues with the next player. If before the end of your turn you have not launched the mission because you are not forced to do that, or if you have aborted the mission, you will still have some cards in the launchpad area and they will stay there for your next turn. You only move the cards from your playing area to the warehouse. The game can end in 3 different ways. First, if any player reaches or exceeds the number of victory points needed to win the game marked on the game board, which is different for each player count. Second, if any player places their last mission token on the game board, and there is at least 1 mission token in each of these 3 destinations. Destinations are Mars, Luna, and Earth. There must be at least 1 token of any player in the destination. It doesn't necessarily have to be the mission token of the player who just triggered the end of the game. And third, the game ends when all players place all their mission tokens on the game board. When the game end is triggered, finish the current round and then the game ends. In addition to the victory points you have gained over the course of the game, add the victory points from your threat cards if you have not already added them to your score. Add the victory points from the Mars or Luna token and from your personal goal cards. Then the player with the most victory points is the winner. So that's it. That's how you play Rocketmen. The game also comes with some special cards called variant cards, which you can use in your games to alter some of the standard rules of the game. And at the end of the rulebook, you can also find rules for the solo game. If you would have any questions or comments, please put them into the comment sections below. We'll do our best to answer as many as we can. And that's it. My name is Branislav Berec, and you've been watching the video tutorial for Rocketmen, the game by Martin Wallace and published by PHALANX Studio.